action. He hates to say action. He hates to say action, Joe.
Take got shot, Teddy got dropped, damn, Nate got popped, damn, Lee got shot, what the hell, splash face, hot game, Corbin got kidnapped, they found his bones, he was riding, Corbin, meet you up the boss,
You could have let that thing rock though. That, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
The beat is crazy.
Cold, and it gets you. You know what I'm saying? Like even before I got to that point, like I'm kind of like bobbing on this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we told you to turn that fucking shit down.
Yes.
You could have thought that in your brain. You just interrupted the whole show for that.
No,
You interrupted the whole fucking show. What you talking
You
about?
could have kept going though.
What?
But go, let's go. What
You
you
know.
know?
Well, this shit.
Why you been over there like?
Calling my interruptions. You walked off the stage.
You put the camera directly on this motherfucker, man. Okay, well, let's go.
But you know, fuck that shit about it.
Okay, so we shouldn't be laughing. So when the shit is playing,
Hold on.
like it's got like a little bop to this
It
shit.
got a crazy bop to it. The dude's vocals is clear. You know, it ain't a dope rhyme, but you know.
I think that beat and you know.
And he on it right.
He was comfortable.
He was comfortable.
He was comfortable with it. He was.
And
But what they talking about is the bullshit.
the content.
So was the kid in the gang with the rest of the people he was talking about?
I don't know. Cause this shit been going on for a minute, right? But to me, it's just another way on how shit fucked up now today. How people are fucked up. People are because this is one of the most viral TikTok trends. Spiraled out of control when the song's called Rap Remix to my Beatbox Remix being used, and it's like hundreds of thousands of people. It said today it was at like 6,600, you know, like 660,000 today, like over a week's time. It was like, or it may have been like 66,000 today. Crazy numbers, what it is.
Well, what I just
crazy.
played is at 1.2 million.
Right, today.
Yeah.
And there's different sites that are pop aboard, not to mention all the other people, that's using it and reposting it and making their own video and reenacting, and it's
So
crazy
I
because
think
it was
that's-
getting on my nerves when one little young dude was doing it, and I kept seeing people wondering why everybody keep doing that. Like I'm not even paying attention to the song.
I remember Gilly was doing it.
Yep, packing it down full.
And it'll be in they'll film you in one spot, and then it'll cut, and then they catch you in another spot,
Right,
catch you on the balcony, catch you upstairs.
right.
I didn't know that was a song. I
Yeah.
thought it was something else.
But you know,
It's fucking foul because that shit is really about disrespecting dead motherfuckers, or
and
you know what I'm saying. The fact that they dead.
Dude's name.
the dude Corbin Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't found his body yet.
No, they
found the bones. The Corbin Johnson disappeared in 2018, and his remains was found a year later. And the song has been trending for some time, and Johnson's mom is hoping that people can find out, you know, if she can find out some answers and shit, or if people, from what it was already, people to see if people see some kindness in their heart, or to change the outlook of it. A lot of people been taking it down off of their shit.
Yeah.
So
After
she
they
wanted
see
them to
what
stop
it is.
fucking with it.
She wanted them to stop, and she hoping that they can, that it'll bring some answers to her son's death, because they don't, to her, you know, it's like they don't know what happened.
No, was her son a fucking gangster?
It didn't say all that right away, and they did quickly say, my baby ain't hurt nobody.
And that's what everybody say though. But
Yeah.
meanwhile,
But
these
do you
motherfuckers
think-
out here tearing up
Do
the
you think
city.
Rodney King and his family felt the same way when you look up and what happened to him is in songs and in videos and in movies and in comedy and all that right there?
Yeah.
Like that, it's gonna happen because it's been happening. You know, we gotta hope.
That's real shit.
It really wasn't funny. Was it really funny when Michael Jackson got his hair caught on fire and fell on his face?
No.
They
What
showed
was
it
his
all
name
over
again?
here.
No.
You know what I'm saying? What they
Corbin.
made it into.
Corbin
It's on
what?
Saturday Night
What's
Live.
his last name? Corbin what?
Corbin Johnson. I just don't speak ill of the mic.
Yeah, we
Of the
did.
dead.
We did exact same like
I don't know. I think
Sonny
like,
Bono. No, what's the dude that crashed into the he was skiing down the hill?
Yeah.
Sonny Bono. And you crashing. I mean, that couldn't wait to come out of Eminem's mouth right here, and that's on Saturday Night Live, and then everybody's like, okay, y'all, I'm pretty sure his family felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or I drop bombs like Hiroshima.
yeah, we gonna do that. We don't say that's what people were gonna do.
Metaphor.
But that's different though. Like motherfuckers using metaphors and things like that is not. These niggas is making it like
Calling motherfuckers.
because I think the fucked up to me. What fucked me up about it is you see it's really like happening in our city too. Them songs just ain't went there.
That's what I'm saying. Like the little drill.
The little shit that these little niggas be doing and shit, man, on their music and the girls.
It's going everywhere.
I mean, but I can dig it because like real shit, we just not as we were taught not to expose so much.
No, we wouldn't talk. Who taught you that?
A
We were
motherfucker
taught
older
that,
than me.
like, yeah, that's
I wasn't supposed to expose so much. Like I can say what I want to
Hold on,
say because I ain't want to incriminate myself.
Okay, as far as
Or nobody you know,
as far as
or-
our generation
or-
went, you know what I'm saying? Everything that was happening, we created it. There was no such thing as breakdancing, so we created that. So what do you mean somebody taught you a guide to something that's brand new that we keep creating? You know what I'm saying? We decided to do the high top fade and all that.
I
You know
ain't
what I'm
talking
saying?
about that.
I mean, no matter what
I'm
it is
talking
we
about shit
did,
that I did
when we
in the
was
street.
when we was in different
Yeah.
gangs.
And when we was growing
When
up,
we was in different
gangs,
gangs and all
the
that.
gangs
Well,
was
we this
same.
and we this and this right here. We was recreating stuff like this is like
Right.
we were doing stuff that was
But
like
even in gangs, they used to have a different set of rules.
even when crack
the
came
rules
in,
ain't the same no
when
more.
crack popped in Columbus right there, what rules was already set in place for you? You know, you was a teenager. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm telling you. That's where the game.
So you followed your
fucking
game from
fell
somebody
off.
that just found out, you know, like what 6 months or a year before you did.
No, I didn't.
I've been
In my
so you knew
family.
crackheads when you. I mean, you knew
No,
crack.
I'm not talking about crackheads, but I
We
knew
talking
what
about crack.
hustling was. I knew what hustling was already, and I knew about working already. So the people before me, I mean, that was crack, but it was still cocaine and all the other shit that was already here already.
But you did not see 100 people on one corner doing the exact same thing.
That
You know
wasn't my
what I'm saying?
lifestyle.
I know,
It wasn't my
but
lifestyle at the time. When I was
half the
when I
school
was 10
selling
and
dope.
11, I wasn't doing that then. But you know, as things came along, and I had and I thought my reason for doing it was a reason because I had a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Opposed, I didn't care about getting in a car. They just came with it later. But you know, my initial
Every major
reason for
city that was doing it, they got it done like, you know what I'm saying? A person will put you
But
on this
still-
block and this block and this block and this block and y'all got
Ain't
to
nobody put me on
Nobody
shit.
did that in Columbus, Ohio. You know why? Because we did our own rules. So we was taught to do it like this, but did we do it like that? You know,
That's,
what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know. You might be talking about you because
No,
I've
we-
seen some other
immediately.
shit.
You ever sell dope for somebody
It's
else?
always.
No,
Have you?
yeah, yes.
It's always been.
It just didn't last long.
It's always been rules to the fucking game, though. That's
And
what
they
I'm
always
talking
will
about.
change.
But that ain't the point I'm
Like
making.
even in
Okay,
games,
that's
there's
different.
supposed to be a code. Like you can't do nothing unless you ask this person, and if you say no, then that means you don't touch that person.
That's
No
a
matter
code
what
of
they
rules.
did.
Yeah, that's
Now
how it
when
used to
that
be.
is on site.
But that didn't. It didn't
Ain't
only
no
just be.
structure no
It
more.
didn't only just be in the gangs. Most everybody. It was a way of, and I ain't saying it wasn't supposed to change or wouldn't change, but in the beginning of every other generation before us, people were more respectable to the rules. Now,
The rules used to be, you know what I'm saying, you don't turn on your family, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, even when the mafia was doing it, y'all was turning in your own family, and that was part of the rule.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could be just because you heard something a certain amount of times, that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you still gonna do what you want to do.
right, but all I'm saying is, I don't know. The people I grew up around, and you've been around for a while, the niggas I grew up around showed me as we was kids and growing up about all kinds of shit. And when the hustling shit came, that just is what it was. But as a little boy, the older nigga older than me showed me some shit that I probably wouldn't knew. Just like the older one older than him and the older one older than him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What guarantee is it that the ones that's showing you and just find out his own damn self because you know what I'm saying. I don't care.
But regardless,
that's what I'm saying right here. I don't care how many people that was older than me that was showing us stuff. I still seen you go down. And I'm saying I still seen you disappear.
But you keep talking about crack. I'm just talking about life.
I'm talking about life at all. Period. You know what I'm saying? I seen people sit up there because this is you the big homie, but we telling us, but yet it's still you did this decision. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you learn by not your own mistakes, but the mistakes that you watch somebody else make and be like, I'm gonna make sure I don't do that.
And obviously to me, the people I've seen them make mistakes and then be put back in that situation again and not make the same mistake. Me myself, I'm one of those people. You don't gotta tell me twice. You ain't gonna keep telling me don't run that light on Livingston and Champion if I got pulled over once. I'll never do that shit again. I'll create a way not to do the exact same stupid shit a second time that I did the first time.
This is what
and that's called learning. So all I'm saying is a motherfucker before me, I just had me, the way I live, the way I do shit, period, is just me trying to, I'm not gonna tell a nigga everything I got. I'm not gonna tell a nigga who I shot or wanna shoot or coulda shot or what I wanna sell, buy, smoke, eat, drink. You know what I mean? That's a lot of shit. Where motherfuckers give up a lot more than need be. I'm just not one of those people. Like, so on in life, where motherfuckers show me, like, you ain't gotta give a motherfucker all your shit. You ain't gotta put all your shit out there. You know what I mean? Give a motherfucker more shit than they deserve. Anything a motherfucker get, like if I post something on social media, I'm giving you that. You're not really getting what's in my.
That's because you got to live that world without social media, because that's where all the scene is at. We are now in a I am popular generation. That's what we didn't have that. We had to get that popularity individually as ourselves that we are here and there.
Or
a million people couldn't see you at one time and shit. You know what I'm saying? So though these kids today, they was created in this generation already. So they never saw it. They never saw it offhand. So now look at these little kids, and you ain't nothing but 4 years old, and you are 2 years old, and you already in TikTok, know how to get to it and everything. You're born into this. You know what I'm saying? Just you ain't no way to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? So we're judging people about stuff that we was never born into. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure in our age, while we think we doing the right thing, our older motherfuckers was like, they doing it all goddamn backwards. Look at these motherfuckers. You right here on the goddamn street corner. You waving down fucking cars and shit like from.
And what I'm saying is, okay, before you say that,
are y'all shooting in the air?
That part right there.
Here. Y'all bringing the police.
Shit like that, a nigga used to tell me, don't do that.
Don't do that. So
and then you see him do it.
Again,
no, I didn't see him do it.
Which is what I said.
I ain't saying nobody's perfect. I'm saying the motherfucker done already learned. So
which is
you
what
give
I
a jewel because you done learned from the shit already.
In episodes beforehand, crack was the point where our community was constantly being chipped at. But crack is where the whole little shit broke the fuck down. That's where they had the most success. The FBI, just all these motherfuckers that was working against us in America to make sure slavery, all this stuff that was aimed to break us the fuck down, crack did that shit in a 10-year period. What these motherfuckers couldn't do in hundreds of years beforehand.
Well, no, it's already, they've been breaking us down the whole ride.
But listen, but crack was...
They just implement shit.
Crack was where the whole little shit, the shelf just broke off. You understand? Like, we been able to hold it together by community, by, you know what I'm saying, different little factors in our past, in our history. Family, you know what I'm saying, church, for some folks, whatever it was, we was able... until the crack era, to hold that shit together. We still held that shit together. Crack came, fucked up everybody's perception of whether it's square business or this the life in the streets and shit. Crack was the difference, because like I said in episodes before, you know what I'm saying, before crack, motherfuckers had to come bring you in, and they was responsible for you, and they had to teach you step by step what you did or what you didn't do.
or the
whether,
gang,
whether it was
or the
pimping.
nigga
That's
had to
what I'm
speak
saying.
for
Like,
you.
like you know what I'm saying. Like it was still even. You know what I'm saying. When crack came, they started taking away all the fucking leaders, leaving the motherfucking underlings to go out and do whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
That's true.
Crack destroyed
It
the
didn't really
last
take
little
away
bit. Hold on, Paul. The last little bit of structure that we had in all of this shit, whether it was the criminal underworld in the black community or whether it was just the community, period. You understand? There was always rules of this shit. We didn't fuck with old people. We didn't fuck with kids. We didn't. It was certain things that we could never fucking do. And if you did, it was somebody there. Just like we're supposed to talk about police in our community. At a certain point, we didn't need the police to come in because it was always someone there. Just like we talked about beforehand about getting corrected here, whether it was a beating or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, a stern talking to, and then when you get over here, you're gonna get it again, and then by the time you get home, your mom or your whoever there gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was a chain of fucking command that crack broke completely down because the motherfuckers that we used to respect, now you coming to me for dope, and now you willing to do anything and everything. You giving me your sons video games for Christmas. You giving me your TV. You willing to do anything when I, you know what I'm saying, knocked off Miss Betty. You know what I'm saying? For some dope. Miss Betty is fictitious. Ain't nobody really knew, but you know what I'm saying? When you were that empowered us. And that told us, like, we don't gotta give a fuck about shit. So now these kids are offspring, Paul, you're right in that sense, that they are the total offspring of everything that we fucking brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? The shit is fucked up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, crack was the teetering point. We were teetering before then, crack brought us the fuck down. We talked about Ronald Reagan, we talked about Nancy Reagan, we talked about all this shit, like the Clintons, we talked about all these motherfuckers, and this is why we are the way we are right now. So now what we're talking about, and this is why I try to push the Paul, and Paul don't really be receptive to the shit. And this is why I ask you, like, do anything I say ever affect your thought process? Because without A, B, and C, you cannot have D or Z down the line. You know what I'm saying? You said no. I am who the fuck I am.
Said no. You said you asked me that question, and I said, you know, because when I listen to you talk, you know what I'm saying, like the opioid victims that were prescribed medicine. You said if you die, you die. Okay, so you're anti-sickness. You know what I'm saying? Then when we're talking about like your kid is born gay or whatever, you're like it gets accepted. Nothing you can do about it. Like you would rather beat it out of them or shame them out of it.
That's foolish.
Instead of I love my gay son. You know what I'm saying? Or I love my gay daughter.
I love my kids. My kids can't do anything. That's my only experience with unconditional love is with my kids. But what I'm telling you is, I'm simply speaking to the fact that there is a history that brought us to where we are right now. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing about it, I heard you say
listen,
our leaders,
hold on, wait. Part of the history is we you know what I'm saying, even with hip hop, rap, you know what I'm saying, like we put the shit out here for these motherfuckers to be so disrespectful right now. You know what I'm saying? But it never started like that. Gangster rap was more of a push against, you know what I'm saying, American society, or you know what I'm saying, the American thought process.
Telling like
who left us out of the whole little mix. Like,
hold on. But I remember Dolores Tucker, she was trying to explain to y'all, us, a long time ago, you know, Tupac, you called her bitches and all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube, you cussed her out of her name and shit. All she was saying is it's explicit. Our kids is listening to this. We got to shut this down. The black lady, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to say, hey, that's why they started to put the explicit tag on the CDs and all that right there. But everything you were saying, hold on. Remember, I gave you 2 hours. I gave you 2 hours.
You didn't give me enough. Because let me tell you, the point that
because of Luke Skywalker.
You're not listening. No, we listened to you. I swear we did. I sat here with my arms crossed. My point is this right here. We were the ones fighting for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get a door and say, look at this music now, when we were fighting for this music. He was saying you can't censor us. We was in the background, God damn it, right,
that's
you
what
can't.
I'm saying. It was more of a revolutionary perspective at that
But
point.
you can't burn.
When you saying fuck the police and you saying, you know
That
what I'm
ain't all
saying?
we talking about.
In the dope, but at the beginning, we talking about at the beginning of this shit when it come to hip hop. At the beginning of the shit, everybody was talking about some counterculture to American culture, and that's why the motherfucking governors, the motherfuckers was running over the CDs with the motherfucking.
So, with it being the shit that they talking about word Corbin on it, by it being because we, like you saying, we were always talking about free speech. You know, freedom of speech has been along the ride, the whole ride, since way before the civil rights movement. And do that make it, because it was like, fuck the police, we won't be censored, and you know, all this shit like that back then. So do that make it? No, but what I'm saying, the point I'm making is,
women, bitches. It was
yeah, all that. I'm
bunch of
saying
things
that, all that in a nutshell. But I'm saying, do that make it where we was talking about trying to keep it real and be have real shit and be talking about real shit in our lyrics? Do that make the shit like, you know, the Where's Corbin? And like I said, there's other motherfuckers in it too, names being dropped. Do that make it okay in hip hop? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm looking at it like, with it being what it is, I'm just thinking it's fucked up how
If it's my baby,
that is a woman's son and she don't know where the nigga at, and then they come out on a song.
But ain't that what Tupac did? When Brenda had a baby, I'm gonna talk about somebody else. And he told all her bit. They probably, I don't know how much of it was true, or but it was it was in the newspaper. You know what I'm saying? That's still like the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like if this happens, somebody is going to make probably a song about it.
He wrote that story though. Like he maybe knew some Brendas or whatever. But what I'm saying is, I say do that means that it's okay in a way of speaking on a hip, because we hip hoppers too. So we MCs, we are rappers, hip hoppers, MCs, all that. By the shit I was looking for to be not censored, to say what we want to say, how far we have come now in music and shit like that, and music and TV and all that. You know what I mean? Do it make it okay? Do it make it okay? Like for us, are we?
This is what
are we here now? Like, well, I mean, obviously we here. But are we there now to where it's like, because the original point I was making is like, to me, that's a lot. Like I don't, you know, like as an MC, I approach it as an MC. I guess as a rapper and they looking for likes or whatever the fuck they getting out of what, you know, what we all looking for when we go to social media. But I'm just saying like, that motherfucker done made him some money off that shit. Or he may have not made no money.
People could ignore it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm just saying, like, do it like, because them people are actually, you know, motherfuckers that's dead and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know. Just do it, make it in hip hop. Would make that shit okay today that we wouldn't give up that much. What I'm saying is in the music, we would speak on it in another way. We would spit it in another way. And I'm just saying, like,
part of the game says you don't fucking talk about certain
and you
shit.
don't get that shit up. I just, you know, niggas talk. I'm just saying, like, y'all niggas ain't.
What I don't understand is, how do you start a fire, watch it burn down, and then say that's a goddamn shame that goddamn shit is burned down? You know what I'm saying? We fought for this right here, and then now we're adults, we're shaming it. You know what I'm saying? Of course it's going to elevate more than what it was now. You know what I'm saying? People got knocked out in boxing a long time ago, and you see Mike Tyson doing like, what the fuck? You elevated that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be now, you got to look for the motherfucker that's like knocking motherfuckers out more crazier than him and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to elevate something, and you're always, you know what I'm saying? So this right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, condolences
but what
to the
about
family.
the motherfuckers adding fuel to the fucking fire?
That's what we did.
No, we did that shit, but also record companies doing that shit. Also, the crack epidemic did that shit.
Record companies
also, you know what I'm
have
saying?
no
Like,
choice.
They do.
No, you're not.
Because listen,
Let me explain to you.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick.
If polka music, no, I listen to everybody. Real quick and still right here.
I'm gonna give you the floor.
I'm gonna tell you how.
Let me say this.
Let me do it first.
Why can't you say, I killed a Jew with a German pistol, or why can't you say, fuck the police without them cutting all that shit out? If the record companies can cut this shit out, why can't they cut out kill a nigga where's Corbin shit?
Can I
They
explain
can
to
do
you right
that
here?
shit.
Can I explain to you right here?
Independent.
Because the people that want it outweigh the people that don't want it. Shut the fuck up, Dolores. You know, Tucker, and we all was against her. We all was on the side of Tupac, Eazy-E, and NWA. All Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boys was talking about raping motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? They like, yeah, yes. You know what I'm saying? Watch the Ghetto Boys. You know what I mean? Listen to the Ghetto Boys. You know what I'm saying? I will kill you. I will rape you. I will do all kinds. It was mostly Bushwick Bill. You know what I'm saying? And we fought for that. And we fought for that. You know what I'm saying? Now you're saying like, oh, shame on you because you're saying this right here. You know?
R.P. Bushwick Bill.
Look, and I'm gonna explain to you why the record company right here, the record company is gonna give you what you want. If people start rocking polka music right now, you know what I'm saying? The record company is gonna start to invest in it. Keep in mind, you know, NWA and all that, they couldn't get nobody to sign them and shit. They had to get a bullshit ass people because the industry said no. Once that was a buzz and we supported and made so much money on it, is get on or get shit on.
The
So
white
like the
kids
skinny
would.
jeans, you know what I'm saying? I'm never rocking them. Now look at us rocking them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta jump on board or you just gonna sink. You don't have you the only record label that don't have nothing on it, no hardcore hip hop. You're the only record label that does that. How you gonna sink? You still gonna play Kid and Play all day long, all day and Kwame. Why you think they disappeared? And the MC Hammers. I can't keep up
They
with
on
this.
tour.
Even when you listening now, listen to the radio, please. I'm waiting for a slow song to fucking come on, even in the club. And it's not because people's not doing it. It's this rap
I would say.
R&B type shit. You would be a bad executive at any goddamn record label with shit. You get whatever the fuck they get. You don't end up with
No,
nothing.
but they gotta pump that shit. So if this
They ain't gotta
motherfucker
do
right
nothing.
here, Chief Keef is a prime example. He was really like one of the first motherfuckers from Chicago to blow. Then every record company after that going to look for the next Chief Keef. Now, so it ain't just in Chicago. Now the shit is in New York. Now the shit is down south. Now the shit is fucking everywhere.
And you gonna
And
start
everybody
it here?
and
How come you ain't
everybody.
taking it back to the Temptations? You know, it was one person that came out with
No,
4 or
I-
5 dudes dressed like this doing this. Now
And they-
all you
and
got
they-
the platforms,
and
the
they did that
platypuses,
shit.
you're
Now-
going to do that.
oh, that's
Michael
what I'm
Jackson,
saying.
you know, when you have a good kid group,
That's
you know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying.
You gotta come
Like
out with
they-
you gotta Bow Wow, you gotta come up with a Romeo, and you gotta come up with a this one right here.
But this is
That's
what I'm saying.
selling.
Like, who's in control of that shit? And the motherfuckers,
No, nobody.
the motherfuckers making the
Listen right
motherfucking
here.
music
I'm
ain't getting
explaining
your
to you
fucking
right
money.
here. I'm
The
explaining to
record
you.
companies is getting
No,
all the
let me
fucking
explain to
money
you
off
right here.
this
Let me
shit,
explain to you.
and they gonna pump
You're
whatever the
asking
fuck.
questions, but you dodging the answers and stuff right here. You're a record label. You're a record label. I'm a record label. I sit up in here and I discover some little kid and it's 3 of them and they bad as fuck dancing and singing and it's popping and shit. You find you too. You know what I'm saying? And you just selling hand over foot. You don't do it at all. You're going to die as a record label. Nobody's making you do nothing. You got to keep up with the trends that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole. Why do you think they don't do disco no more?
If
Well,
you
how come
find,
you would still
if
be
you-
selling
if you-
disco
if
music.
you find
You
out
would never.
something is critical to your family, to your loved ones.
This is-
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's
you
not
cannot
critical
say,
to your-
listen, you
What?
cannot say anything opposed
In the
to
80s,
certain
what
little
black
groups.
record
You
label
can't
did you
even-
have?
right now in
So it wasn't- you wasn't doing it to
2022,
them
you cannot say anything against the alphabet community. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that you can't say that we could say.
Hold on.
10,
Hold
20 years ago.
Hold on. You still have to don't misconstrue that for you know what I'm saying freedom of speech right here. You go to Korea and say fuck Jim, you know fuck him. You're going to jail, to prison. If you say something like man fuck them fags, nobody's going to come in and arrest you at all. They just won't support you.
So
whatever
long
the
as
fuck
you
you're
say
doing.
fuck
They just
the
won't
fags,
support
fuck
you
the
no
fags or
more.
whatever.
They just won't support
You
you.
know what I'm saying? As long as
You can
saying,
say it all day long. People just won't buy your product.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, fuck the police or kill the police. Ice-T had the rock group and they had a
Cop
song
Killer,
out.
he still toured with 'em.
And they fucking took the shit out. You
And
know what I'm
guess
saying?
what
The record company would not fucking release that.
They still,
Cop
that's
Killer.
what got them paid though. The cop killer shit when they
But
Yes,
touring
but
and
they
hold on.
they
And
cut
Matt-
that shit
and
out.
he
And
don't-
they said, like, if you sing this shit, we're gonna fucking
You
arrest
will-
all you motherfuckers and so
Did
and
you
so
miss the
forth.
whole point?
It
That was the best thing that ever happened to him because guess what?
'Cause
You was
as soon
drowned
as
as
that shit
a
blew
record
on,
label.
boy.
You take your woes and your sorrows and shit and you go ahead and exploit that because people are going to link and that's what's going to come on to. That's what everybody's going to buy your shit.
Now we
Why do you
getting
think
100,000
Tupac? Why do you think
a shot.
Tupac was very quiet through his whole career unless he would pop up and do some disrespectful shit and because a movie is coming out. You know what I'm saying? Your album is coming out. You know what I'm saying? After that, that's the buzz. You in the studio all day. You ain't got time to be being all that. But when you're about to release, you gonna make some fucking noise and shit. You know what I'm saying? Noise, controversy makes
So,
Right,
shit
Paul
sell.
Clark.
So is it is the music or art reflecting
Supply and demand.
On the record label
that
side,
shit's
real
fucking,
shit.
That shit is fucking,
On the record label
that
side,
shit's
the
fucking
art
us up.
goes out the window real quick.
That shit is fucking us up. That shit is fucking us up.
On the record
And-
label
and-
side, the
and
art
we-
goes out
and
the
some-
window.
we-
We like to
take
hear
it-
shit.
we can
Listen,
take
when
it
you talk about
outside
rap
of-
right here, when you talk about rap right here, you know what I'm saying, to the hip hop, everything they was talking about, that's what they was, you know what I'm saying, that's what they were living. They was talking about the rats in the bathroom, roaches in the back, you know what I'm saying, they was talking about that. It's just that the more and more verbal we got as MCs, I mean, listen to Curtis Blow and them compared to Drake, you know what I'm saying, you can't do shit, Curtis Blow, not verbally, you can't, not lyrically, you can't, so we get more lyrical, and we're telling these stories where you can just like, that's like a movie.
Even though it's
Hey, hold
called-
on. Remember that song I did about myself if I was getting robbed? You know what I'm saying? You said your daughter heard it, and you know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this real? Like, did this really happen? Or, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We tell stories about shit. You know what I'm saying? That we see every goddamn day. Now, whose fault is it that I'm as a performer cannot talk about, you know what I'm saying, my neighbor that's on crack cocaine. I cannot talk about this right here. I gotta talk about the negative
If
shit.
you only
if
doing
that's
this
all
shit
I
to
see.
my
get paid,
but
and
my
saying
point
fuck
to the
everybody
whole
else,
shit-
And that's what it was.
My
That's
point
what
to
it
go
was
back
then.
to the whole shit of the original part of the conversation is, like you said, I just think the niggas, you know, giving up that much of, they giving up all that shit and it's a song. Them niggas is supposed to be connected to the shit. The gang the nigga fuck with and all that was supposed to be connected to the shit. Which kind of like, that just, to me, that just fuck up and throw all the rules out. Like you said, the shit is to be, we evolve. So, with each generation,
But
I
even
tell
if the shit
motherfuckers
is
over and over,
backwards, though,
each
that's
generation waters down more and more. Niggas ain't the men like they used to be when we was growing up and our dads and our grandfathers. Motherfuckers ain't got that, ain't the same. Niggas, I seen a nigga standing on, a nigga, his homeboy and his girl standing on the side of the road with a flat tire. All three of them standing out there looking at the flat tire. The niggas don't know how to change tires. So, huh?
You help them.
No. I was on my way somewhere. Because I couldn't believe it, because I would never have me no chick in the car, and I'd just be like, I can't change a tire.
Diddy would have pulled over, helped them, got them cakes, and warmed them up a sandwich and gave it to them.
Yo, my shit comes from the struggle. And my perception right now about this shit comes from doing all this fucking dirt. And
I get it.
causing,
What songs did you make?
And causing
What
and
songs did you
causing
make?
a lot of songs.
Gospel songs?
But this is what I'm telling you. After all that's said and done, I can look back on this shit and say, man, selling drugs, making songs about this shit has caused a negative impact. So much so that these young motherfuckers out here right now, I wasn't true to the game because I'm I ain't gonna say a victim, but I am a product of the crack epidemic. I'm a product, and when I put that shit out there, but now that I'm grown, now that I'm out, now I'm square, you know what I'm saying? I can look at this shit and say, man, I was fucking dead
Now that
wrong
you had
for
all
this
your
shit.
fun and went over there in hot tubs and sun bubble and you taking pictures and you taking
Residence.
red lobster.
I'm saying like in hindsight, now that I've matured, now that I've grown to the point I can look and say that I did, this was fucking wrong. The shit that I did was fucking wrong. And if anybody listening to this shit and I did you fucking wrong, I apologize. From the bottom of my heart, I fucking know better now.
When you hit the bitch from the back and then when you was done, you put the condom on the back of her shoulder. Come on now. Then you wipe your coat off on the baby's coat.
So you know what I'm
saying?
doing? So now I might be overcompensating by
having all your
by
fun.
moving the way that I'm moving right now and doing the shit that I'm fucking doing.
But what if you
know
never
what I
do the
mean?
dumb shit that you did? You wouldn't be who you
You
is
do it like
today.
that, like,
How can you tell
I'm
somebody
down.
what the fuck not to do if you ain't never been through it at all? You don't know what the you know what the consequences
I'm
was
down.
of it.
I'm
So now
down.
you can tell a motherfucker some shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't demand somebody be squeaky clean when you got a whole fucking track record of having fun.
Because I wipe my dick on the curtains once or twice
Yeah.
in my life. That don't mean now that I'm beyond
Nigga, it
it,
was a church picnic.
I shouldn't stand on, you know what I'm saying, on that shit. Like you know what I'm saying, that shit was wrong, that shit is fucked up. And I put poison out lyrically, verbally to my community.
So
that
we
has caused a fucking where's Corbin situation.
So we really ain't no better than them.
I wasn't
You
at
were
one point. Now that I'm grown, yes, I am better. And yes, I can
No,
say,
I ain't talking about you now.
I can say,
I'm talking about you as a rapper. So, because if you think of the thing, all this shit we was trying to get as rappers to be heard and shit like that.
but
We just opened the door. We just opened gateways and
That was the same
doorways.
thing with the fucking dope. The dope came. You know what I'm saying?
That was a gift
And
and
that
curse.
it was a way when we had no way before that.
Okay.
Hip hop came. It was a way when we didn't have a way.
Dope was
before
here
that.
before hip hop.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's when all that shit changed. That was the change in everything. Once crack hit our community, we haven't been the same.
But I don't
shit,
want to take
and
it
we
out.
haven't
I don't
came
want to
back.
take it out of context. I just want to see, you know, as far as the Corbin Johnson.
Shit is foul. And Paul is saying, how can I say it's foul when I did worse shit in my
Remember
lifetime?
when that guy, and was it Joy Lane or something? Remember your girlfriend left you, so you upset, and all, he was riding around, and then he just shooting. I'm just gonna shoot people and kill them for no reason.
Yeah.
Around things. Yeah, that was in songs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People was referring
Yeah.
their sex as a woman. I got that Joy Lane or that Joy Road. You know what I'm saying? I will have y'all ass out here killing people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it was the same. It just won't go.
So it's just a matter of evolution.
Is it
It's
fucked up or not?
evolution. It's
Is it fucked up or
evolution.
not?
I'm gonna tell you if it is.
Where's Corbin? Is that
You asked
shit
the question.
fucked up?
It depends on who you are. For some reason, nobody felt sorry for Sonny Bono. Like you just crashed into a
His
tree
wife probably
2 days
did.
ago.
Cher
but
did,
the-
I know.
But the public was making jokes about it, and it was funny, and it was in people's songs and all that. But nobody had no rally for you. But if you do it for somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like we get to pick.
I
and choose
guarantee you nobody
who
but
we shut
Eminem
down,
said
or who
anything
we-
about him in the rap community. Unless it was another white rapper.
What I'm saying is, this shit is affecting us all in a negative way.
I just, you know, from an MC standpoint, I just want to know I can dig that, the negativity.
Let's
And all that.
You can dig it.
I can dig
You
it.
accept it.
I don't accept it. I mean, but you know, like I said, each generation is watered down.
Like we don't got no reason. Are you with Paul in saying that we shouldn't?
I think we all
Same shit
agree to
about it.
disagree. I mean,
watching
because
the evolution of
it's like I just said, it's evolution.
Society.
It's from
You know how somebody
yeah.
would feel in the 1800s if they could just know in time, y'all out here showing elbow bitches.
you right.
Right.
You right.
Evolution.
That's why I hate Paul.
Yeah.
You're right in that sense.
That's
Like,
why I say in like
fucking
20 years, you know, our daughters gonna
200
be
years
right
ago.
there at East at motherfucking Polaris, you know what I'm saying, and some thong outfits, shit, some lingerie and shit like, and with heels on it or flip flop, it's like, and it's not gonna phase us. It's gonna start off like
how much
this
time we
nasty
got,
bitch
God?
it's evolution.
of society. Society always
Are you
changes.
ready for the?
Ain't no stand no.
No, we don't even need it because we in it. We can take the break right there and do the commercial coming back in. Like, you know what I mean? Because we was trying to wrap it up right there. So we wrapped it up.
And if you said that was wrong, let me do it. Why would you play it again?